Thank you very much for having invited me to this important conference that focuses our attention on art in all its forms, on conservation of art, and especially on the theme of living with art as a main question. The great painter, Italian painter Aligi Sasso, found himself in an important square of the city of Milano, Piazzale Loreto, the 10th of August 1944, when the Italian fascists, after having hanged 11 partisans, decided to lay their corpses on the ground, leaving them to rot as a warning for the population. The artist, deeply impressed, made an extraordinary painting portraying that atrocious and gruesome scene, transfiguring it in a work of art whose title is The Martyrs of Piazza Loreto. Of that terrifying event, there are pictures and short documentaries which allow us to watch its horror and the truthfulness, but the painting is something different. Art is definitely something different. Certainly, also, a picture may emerge as a work of art, but in that case, the aspect of realities is transcended by the strength of the photographer's glance, by the unicity of the framing and of other artistic elements which push the worry of realistic reproduction into the insignificance. And we watch that picture with the same eyes with which we look a painting, a work of art. The capacity of art to embody the moment, transcending it, generates emotions and sentiments which contend to so-called reality, the primacy of true and authentic. Let's consider the great painting of Pablo Picasso, Guernica. There is in that extraordinary composition nothing of realistic. Nevertheless, it epitomizes, as no reportage picture and no documentary can do, the shock of one of the most violent and criminal events of last century. It has become the absolute symbol. Mutatis mutandis, the worry of portraying with drawings scenes of daily horror by some inmates in the Nazi lagers is part of the necessity of putting in the testimony a sign of art as a form of piety which allow to everyone who approaches the abyss of cruelty not to remain petrified. It is not possible to look directly the face of the Medusa without remain annihilated. As Perseus, we human beings who weren't in that experience of this systematic destruction of each sentiment of compassion, we need to be protected by a shield. Documentaries and pictures may witness the horror, but as time goes by, they may generate addiction. The intrinsic piety of artistic acting is that shield, which gives us the chance of accessing to the experience and to the knowledge of the sublime, as well to the one of the unspeakable. And this is specific of artistic expression in each one of its forms, in the figurative as in the narrative, in the musical as well in the theatrical and cinematographic one. I commenced my consideration from the approach to the artistic transfiguration of real in the extreme conditions for human being to show how much is decisive artistic culture in giving to life a direction of sense. But living with art decides in general of the quality of human existence, in the meaning of defining and transforming the value. A sensational case is without any doubt the case of El Sistema of the Venezuelan maestro Abreu, who educated 2 million of children of his country to music, changing their destiny and involving in the project their families. El Sistema, the system, generated orchestras and revealed top musicians. The symphonic orchestra of the children of Venezuela is one of the most luminous and touching examples of how education in art gives sense to life since early childhood. But the artistic act can also revolutionize the character of habitats, reverberating its processing power on people beyond its birth, establishing a watershed between a before and an after. It is the case of Guggenheim Museum of Bilbao. After its building, hundreds of thousands of visitors come in the Basque City to enjoy of that extraordinary building work of art and of the beauties it contains. With the occasion, they meet a territory, its people, with its culture, its customs, and its tradition. The fuel of all this is the artistic intuition. It's extremely important for each human being to support all the initiatives that emphasize the importance of art in all its forms, as is doing this important conference.